G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe, fighting man from head to toe, on the land, on the sea, in the air.
Box after box of authentic uniforms and equipment, so you can change your G.I. Joe soldier into a camouflage Marine ready for battle, a Navy frogman with complete scuba suit and inflatable life raft, an Air Force pilot with high-altitude helmet and air vest.
In 1964, the Hasbro Toy Company launched a new line of military dolls and equipment standing at 12 inches tall to compete with Mattel's Barbie. But Hasbro figured that boys in 1964 wouldn't play with quote-unquote dolls, so they coined the term action figure, specifically for G.I. Joe. In 1994, Hasbro came out with this commemorative collection celebrating the 30th anniversary of the 12-inch G.I. Joe action figure. We're going to open this box and check out these figures. And we're also going to check out this other figure from 1994, the original G.I. Joe, Joseph Colton. Welcome to 80s Joes. Let's take a look at the box. We've got all the figures listed out. You got the Action Soldier, Action Marine, Action Sailor, Action Pilot Astronaut, and the space capsule. On the back, you've got some file cards for each. You can pause it here if you want to read them. There's the Action Soldier, Action Marine, Action Sailor, Navy Frogman, Action Pilot, Air Force Fighter Pilot, then Action Pilot Astronaut. The 30th anniversary salute. What else we got? All right, let's open it up. All right, so let's open this bad boy up. And it's got 6 flag points. That's a lot of flag points. All right, so we got some accessories. We got the Marine. Looks like he's got a little pontoon boat backpack. There's the cross brochure. This is like a time capsule of sadness. The year when G.I. Joe went belly up. But there's all the Street Fighter II figures. All right, what else we got? Accessories for Air Force. So I'm gonna have to clip these out. We'll do that. This one's for the Army. Here's one for the Navy. Got his flippers in there. Oxygen tank. A light. Scuba tank. Is that it? Alright. That's it. Hey there, gentlemen. It's got the G.I. Joe stamp on the top. This one has some scratches on it. I don't know how it got scratches in there. But here you can see inside there. Got the captain's chair, goes up. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Now let's get these guys out of their plastic prison. All right, so here they are, all open out of their plastic prisons. So this is the Action Soldier. So this is the Army. So here's the Marine, Action Marine. The Action Sailor. So this looks like Scuba Steve. Yeah, so there's the Action Sailor. Here's the pilot. This guy's cool. Love the helmet. Does the helmet come off? There you go. All right, then the Action Pilot Astronaut. Does this come off? Yes, his helmet does come off. That's cool. Boy, that looks great. Let's set him in his space capsule. So we'll put his visor down. Put him down in there. Close the hatch. There you go. You've got the Action Space Capsule and the Action Pilot Astronaut. That's pretty cool. All right, and then we got a parachute. I believe that goes with the pilot because he's got a big backpack. Big thick backpack that will accommodate that. And here's all their shooter weapons. Let's get their weapons. Alright, so now that we have these out of the package and we have their weapons and accessories assembled, let's take a closer look at these figures. Again, these figures are from 1994. They're commemorating the 30th anniversary of the original G.I. Joe. And first up is the Action Soldier. So the Action Soldier being representative for the Army branch of the military. We're just taking a look at some of the details on here. You can see the 2 grenades. Just a real classic military look. And they got the trigger finger. Great looking boots with the little bows at the top. Nice simple military green. Nice World War II helmet. And the Action Soldier came with this barricade here. And 3 of the figures came with these launching gun thingies. Oh, okay. There it goes. All right. That's what I'm going to do with it anyway. Holy cow, man. Did I cut a piece off? Maybe I'm just supposed to leave that up there. Let's see. We'll put him back here. Let's put his backpack on. So he's got a pretty hefty backpack. Got a bedroll, a trenching tool, a couple of canteens. Put that on him. There you go, man. You got the action soldier. All right, so just for something fun, let's compare the action soldier with the new modern fighting force action soldier grunt. So basically, when 1982 came out and they made new GI Joes, this was the army guy. This was the grunt, and so this is, I think, that's the right comparison here. So yeah, I think it's just cool seeing these guys together and comparing old and new. So this grunt, his helmet could come off. He had probably the smallest backpack ever. That was Grunt's backpack. Compared to the action soldier's backpack, this guy's ready, man. Yeah. So there's Grunt and action soldier. All right, next up, let's take a look at the Action Marine. I love this one. I love the camo on this guy. Got a couple pockets up there. I love these pouches along his belt. That's great. That's a great detail. His fatigues cover his boots. And I mentioned this earlier. His helmet, it's kind of like a powder coat, whereas the rest of it's glossy. Maybe they missed coating this. I wonder if that's what it looks like if it's not coated. Anyway, he's got blue eyes. And the Action Marine also came with a big shooter. I'll try not to lose this one. We'll see though. Oh. Yeah. Boy, they shoot. They shoot hard. All right, so Action Marine came with the same backpack as Action Soldier. And he also came with a rifle. I hope I didn't cut off the wrong parts of the rifle, because I don't know how these guys can hold these rifles. We got this raft. It only came with one oar, though. I might want to go back and check and see if I threw away the other oar. I don't think I did, though. All right, so there's the Action Marine. Let's compare him to some other Marines. The very first Marine for the modern fighting force. Gung Ho was introduced in 1983, and he was our first Marine to the new G.I. Joes. But probably a better comparison. So here you got more like World War II G.I. Joes, Marines. And over here you got like the Vietnam era Marines. I mean, it's hard to compare these two because Leatherneck's got just so much more detail. He's even got a watch and a bracelet. Kind of got a weird thing going on here. You got old and new. This one's old and new, and this one's old and new too. But there you got the Marines. All right, so we'll set him up in his raft here. All right, next up from the 30th anniversary set from 1994, this is the Action Sailor. I think this figure would be more appropriately named the Action Diver. But there's the Action Diver. I don't know how well you can see into his goggles here. Hey there. It's me, Scuba Steve. All right. So he's pretty straightforward. I do like his uniform. I like his belt there and the zipper and the harness. I like the orange color. The Navy SEAL, he came with flippers. So he's got a hose here. The hose will fit here. And here's his scuba tank. The hoses can go on there. It looks pretty good. Got his harpoon gun. He also has a shooter. Oh! Man, that was hard. Jeez, that's a dangerous weapon. And I totally missed the figure. I wanted to knock him over. And he's got the underwater light. So there he is. It's a good looking figure, I think. I love the goggles. I think that's a nice touch. So here we're going to compare him to Our other favorite Navy SEALs. Here we got Torpedo. Now, Torpedo had nice normal feet, but he had flippers too. But see, he didn't have goggles. And his outfit was a lot more sleek. Not much to it. Had a couple things over here. Had a knife here. Zippers. Oh, that's a knife. And there's his knife. And then a couple years later, so we got Torpedo in 83. And then in 86, we got Wetsuit. So here's Wetsuit. They gave Wetsuit some different colors. And gave him a lot more detail. And he came with a bunch of accessories. He's got his knife there. He's actually got a pistol strapped on. Yeah, and he's got a lot going on. He's got a watch too. Then he had his tubes coming out of here also. So there's the SEALs, frogmen, and the SEALs. All right, so next up we've got the action pilot, the fighter pilot. So this is, this is what I think Ace always should have looked like. Like a fighter pilot. But I love this guy. I like the colors. I love his bright orange vest. He's got like a notepad here on his leg. He's got a knife right there on his boot. And then the harness for his parachute. And then his helmet, so he's got his mask, the hose for his helmet. That mask does come off, but I don't want to try. I'm going to take the helmet off, though. Then there's the face sculpt for this guy. He's got blue eyes, too. I mean, look at the chiseled features. These face sculpts are really, they did a good job going back to like the old school, because by the time the 90s came around, they were coming up with some funky stuff at Hasbro for G.I. Joe. So there's the action pilot. He came with a parachute backpack. And there's the parachute. That might get me in trouble if I go through customs. Ha. But yeah, it just sits in there. I'm not going to unfold this thing because I remember from the Sky Striker days, these things are just impossible to fit back. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So the next owner can enjoy it. But this has got a little loop. This has got a little peg here that slides through, keeps that locked in. This has a belt that you can strap on here and strap on him. I'm not going to use it though, because it's pretty flimsy, and just feeding this thing through, it looks like a nightmare, so I'm not going to do it. But he also came with a pistol and a rifle. Again, I don't know how they're going to hold these things, the rifles. But there's the pilot. And then here was our first pilot, 1983's Ace. You see, he looks more like an astronaut to me. And I'm going to prove that point here in just a minute. I think this is what we would have liked to have seen in an Ace figure. Yeah, and then just a few years ago, we got Failsafe. And and Failsafe's all right. I love the green, so it kind of harkens back to these guys, right? He fits right in with those dudes. So here's the other pilot, Failsafe. I wonder what this dude would look like in the Sky Striker. Maybe we'll do that. All right, and last up we've got the action pilot Astronaut. He comes with his own space capsule. Isn't that cool? Looks just like the NASA programs from the 60s. And that's how he sits in there. Like that. So it launches, like that, and then flies like that. It's pretty cool. Love it. And that closes back. All right. Let's check out this figure. So this is the Astronaut. His helmet comes off. I love this. I love this detail because this is what I remember seeing, all the news footage, historical footage of the NASA pilots. And I remember as a kid during the space shuttle missions, they would have the head wraps. So I love it. So this just looks like, an astronaut. And I kind of think we got something similar here with Ace. See? Just too similar. But I like this dude. I like this helmet comes off. Got the shield that goes down. The U.S. flag. All the details. Apparatus here. And then just his suit's just a space suit. A silver shiny space suit. And I'll share a funny story with you. A couple months ago when I was on Whatnot on an auction, I put a bid on this guy, thinking I was getting this guy. I'm like, oh, that's the astronaut from the Commemorative set. It's a good thing he only cost me $5 because that is not who this is. I looked up who this is. I forgot who it is, but he came out in the 90s. He's part of another line, O-ring figure, but nope, that was not the action astronaut. And last but certainly not least, I'm throwing in another 1994 figure. This is Lieutenant Joseph B. Colton. Codename G.I. Joe. This is the first G.I. Joe. Well, this one was made in 94, but it commemorates the first G.I. Joe. And Hasbro put the scar on all their G.I. Joes because there were already knockoffs coming out right away when these got so popular in 64. Just a sharp looking figure. I mean, just a military figure, old school figure. I love the beret, love the lilt of the beret there. And he's got, I thought they were red eyes, but I think they're supposed to be brown eyes. I love the detail on him. It's just simple, but it's military, And so I got him with his file card. So you can see his name is Joseph B. Colton. In 1964, he was a first lieutenant, but by the end of the mythology, he was a 4-star general. I love what it says here. Colton was issued his codename G.I. Joe and began building his team with the toughest men the armed services could muster. From there, G.I. Joe would change the course of military history and redefine the word hero and the toy industry. And there's G.I. Joe, the 1994 commemorative set, and Joseph B. Colton, celebrating 30 years of G.I. Joe, and now 32 years past that. Yo, Joe.